2017. This does not. Whew, I'm not expecting much. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. All right. Love Blood. I love Underworld. Still, the first one is the only must see. Love Kate Beckinsale too. Wish she'd been more utilized over the past few years. Past many years. Monster Trucks. Man, this is one that even the trailer looked horrible. Triple X 2. That movie had you wondering, how did this happen? Or no, Triple X 3. Triple X 2 had Ice Cube in it, and then Triple X 3 had Vin Diesel. Rings? Is that something to do with the ring? Oh, it is. Space Between Us. That one looked good, but never heard anything about it. Lego Batman movie. That one was pretty good, but all right. I know I'm gonna step on some toes here, but John Wick 1 is the only must-see John Wick movie, and then the whole series is you should watch it, especially if you like the first one because it gets even better. But John Wick 2 is not a must-see movie, especially I think that's the big thing. It's independent of itself. It's not a must-see movie. All right, Get Out. Do people still talk about? Okay. So when Get Out came out, people everywhere talked about it. They were talking about how it was one of the best horror movies ever made. It was nominated for Best Picture, which is really weird for a horror movie. I think it was. I could be wrong. But no one talks about it anymore. It feels kind of forgotten. Like if it brings up, people are like, "Oh, that was a really good movie." But if you say you haven't seen it, I don't feel like anybody really says anything. Is that a must-see movie? All right, yeah, I'll say this because I just had the psychological realization that I think that I just kind of want to have a year where it's a 0 year, and so I want to be really picky. But yeah, artistic integrity must prevail. Logan. All right, well that gets rid of that. Logan is a must-see movie. That one's really good. The last great X-Men movie, and it's kind of barely an X-Men movie. Kong Skull Island. That one's fun. I feel like it bombed. I don't remember. But if you didn't see that one, you should. Beauty and the Beast is garbage. Very successful, high grossing garbage. It was terrible. I hated it. And I stand by that. Power Rangers was so disappointing. Power Rangers, if you do it right, it has the potential to be really good. And somebody needs to try to do that well. Why do, man? It feels like this is the era where Hollywood started adapting all kinds of beloved properties, but not hiring directors that liked those properties. Just find someone who's a huge fan, and just let them make the movie that they know people want to see. Ugh, how hard is that? Just have a quiz. Colossal, that was a movie that it looked really interesting, and then you watched it, and it gets weird in an unpleasant way. I wouldn't recommend it. How to Be a Latin Lover is one of my favorite titles ever, but I don't think it's a must-see movie. Arthur Legend of the Sword was pretty good. A little bit underrated, but not a must-see. Alien Covenant, people liked it, but that was a grading on the curve. That was Alien Resurrection, and then all the Alien versus Predator movies. Baywatch could have been so funny if you had really picked on the thing on Baywatch. It would have been great, but this was the era where you weren't allowed to like goof on, women being insanely sexualized, and that was what Baywatch's whole thing was. So, and then they like went and made the men overly sexualized, which is not what Baywatch was about. I don't think there was a large a large woman demographic watching Baywatch. But that's the direction that they chose to go, and it failed. So, what are you gonna do? All right, Wonder Woman was pretty good. It was a decent movie. It's not a must see. It's a must listen to soundtrack. Soundtrack is great, but not a must see movie. Gal Gadot and Chris Pine are wonderful, but man, that last 10 minutes just kind of destroy the movie. It's not good. Mummy, considered to be one of the worst movies made in the past several years. Cars 3 is not a must-see movie, but so I dislike Cars. I know it's hard to see Cars 2, and no one liked Cars 2. And so I did not see this one until like last year because I have kids and they like Cars. Cars 3 might be the best of the series. It is better than it has any right to be. And if you were to watch it and say that it's a good movie, I would not argue with you at all. It's really good. It's not a must-see, but Cars 3 is way better than it has any right to be, especially considering how not good the other two movies are. Big Sick. That's one that everybody talked about how you needed to see it when it came out, and now no one does. Yeah, so I mean, for must-see movies, they have to have lasting power, and that one does not. Baby Driver, kind of the same thing. For a couple of months, especially inside of my friend group, that one was people talked about like crazy, and Edgar Wright is Edgar Wright. But last few years, no one really talks about it. Great, great chase scenes. Some of the best driving scenes filmed in the past several years. Fast and Furious has kind of had that monopolized for a little bit, but man, Baby Driver is so much better than anything I've seen inside of the Fast and Furious series. But the rest of the movie it's fine. It's great. Edgar Wright's concept was, what if I made an action movie that was filmed like a musical to songs? So there's a number of songs inside of it that the whole scene while they're playing they're choreographed to the song. And it's a really great concept and it works out great, but I don't know, there's something missing. The cinematography and the action sequences are wonderful and excellently filmed, but there's something missing for making it a must-see movie, and I don't know what it is. And I love the movie, so I'm not just nixing it because I want to. There's something that keeps it from being a must-see movie. If you're an Edgar Wright fan, it absolutely is a must-see movie, but there's something missing for making it being a must-see movie for the general populace. Dunkirk is also a really good movie, but yeah, it's not there. It's not a must-see. It's one of those that if you did not see it the year it came out, nobody really tells you need to see it now. As I said in the last video, we're definitely getting into the era of streaming movies being a part of this, which is, I don't know if they'll be left off of this list, but I feel like they will. But again, but by the same token, I don't know if there's really many streaming movies that are must-see movies. Logan Lucky is a must-see movie, I think. It is so funny, edge of your seat at times, excellently acted, and really well-written script. Yeah, Logan Lucky's a must-see movie. Definitely go watch that one. People loved it. It's one of those weird ones where I feel like the sequel kind of tainted it, where it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good, and so people were disappointed, and it kind of lowered the rating of the first one. People were very excited about that one, and they loved it when it came out, but I don't think it's considered a must-see anymore. It's not listed in the echelon of great horror movies. Blade Runner 2049, again, Denis Villeneuve, but I don't think it's considered a must see. It's considered really good, but not a must see. All right, I'll recommend Happy Death Day. That one is actually very funny. Jessica Roth, the lead girl in that movie, holy cow! I need to look her up to see if she's done anything else recently, but she plays this character so well. Um, she really sets herself up as she's a very good actress. Yeah. I recommend Happy Death Day, but it's not a must see movie. Goodbye, Christopher Robin. Also, very good movie. Wait, no, that's not the one I'm thinking. Margot Robbie was in that one? Yeah, that one people were just like, this is depressing. I don't want to watch this. I was thinking of just Christopher Robin. And that one's a good movie, but it's not a must see either, so don't worry if I missed it. Leatherface, nope. Playground. The Playground. Man, this is kind of sad because so there was a period of my life, Lady Bird, that was considered a must see. Remake of Murder on the Orient Express, good, worth watching, not a must see. So I had this thing where, man, I saw so many trailers just from watching TV and stuff, and I have this weird thing where I remember plot, title, and lead actors of most of the movies I've ever seen a trailer for, which made me an amazing employee at Blockbuster because people would give me the barest description. I could tell them what it was. But and then I've, because of not having a TV and TV channels and the commercials and stuff, and not watching as many movies at this point in the past few years, I haven't seen as many trailers, and there's kind of been a dropping off at this point. And so we're getting into territory of there's so many movies that I don't even know about. It's kind of weird. It's like a weird transition in my brain. All right, Coco is a must-see movie. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful movies. It might be the most beautiful movie that Pixar has ever made, which is saying something. Yeah, watch Coco. I don't even want to give anything away. Man Who Invented Christmas, that's a really good movie. You should watch it if you get the chance. But it's a Christmas movie, and I did not feel the urge to watch it the last two Christmases. So, I feel like that says something. Disaster Artist, no. People told me for 2 months I needed to see that one, and then no one said anything again after that. Shape of Water, winner of Best Picture? Nominated for Best Picture? No one talks about it anymore. And everybody that I know that saw it said, that was weird. Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, funny, not a must-see. Greatest Showman. Okay, so Greatest Showman is not good. It has a lot of issues. It has one musical number that, in my opinion, is the best musical number filmed in the past, 20 years. But that's not enough to carry the movie. That's not the one you would expect. It's, I think it's called The Pitch. It's the scene where Hugh Jackman is getting Zac Efron to work with him. That scene is perfect. So good. Song, choreography, lyrics, everything just mashes together in a very old Hollywood way. And I loved it. That scene ended, and I thought, this is as good as this movie is going to get, and I was right. But the rest of it is just fine. So, not a must-see. The Post, man, I forgot Spielberg directed that. All right, that ends 2017, so just five movies in 2017. Well, I said back in 2012, I thought it was going to get 2013. I thought it was going to get worse. I don't think it is. So yeah, let's keep going here into the last year for a little bit. We'll see.